Welcome, everyone. We're about to dive into an idea that is, well, it's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It's the idea that how you think about your own abilities, that might just be the one thing that shapes, well, your entire life.
Seriously, just take a second and think about this. What if everything, your success, your relationships, your job, even how happy you are, what if it all comes down to just one thing, the way you think? I know, it sounds a little out there, right? But that's the powerful truth we're going to unpack today. It turns out the very foundation of your life might be the story you're telling yourself right now inside your own head.
And our guide for this whole exploration is the absolutely groundbreaking book Mindset by Stanford professor Carol S. Dweck. And look, this isn't just some popular self-help book. We're talking about a guide that's built on decades of solid scientific research, and it's had a massive impact on pretty much everyone, from teachers in the classroom to CEOs in the boardroom.
All right, let's get right into it. The main idea here is actually pretty simple. Your mindset, it's the single most important tool you have to get through life.
Basically, what Dweck is saying is that your perspective is one of two things. It's either a cage that's holding you back, or it's the key that unlocks all your potential. So now, we're going to look at the two mindsets that decide which one it is for you.
So what are these two ways of thinking? Well, Dweck calls them the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And you can almost picture it like a fork in the road, right? It's a fundamental choice that literally sets the direction for your entire life's journey.
Okay, so first up is the fixed mindset. If you have a fixed mindset, you basically believe that your qualities, how smart you are, how artistic, how athletic, are just carved in stone. You think you're born with a certain amount of talent, and that's that. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. You're either a natural at something, or you're not. End of story.
But then, you have the complete opposite, the growth mindset. And this is the belief that your basic abilities, they're just the starting point. People with a growth mindset see things like talent and intelligence as stuff that can be developed, through dedication, hard work, and learning. For them, abilities aren't set in stone. They're something you can grow over time.
So here you can really see the two beliefs side by side. The fixed mindset creates this constant pressure to prove you're good enough because you think what you've got is all you'll ever have. But the growth mindset, that's all about improving yourself because you believe you can get better with effort. And that one little difference, well, it changes absolutely everything.
And this table just shows the difference in such a stark way. Let's just walk through it. Take challenges. The fixed mindset runs from them. Why? Because if they fail, it means they're not smart. But the growth mindset, they lean in. They see a challenge as a chance to get stronger. And what about failure? For the fixed mindset, it's a total disaster. It feels like a permanent label of you're not good enough. For the growth mindset, failure is just data. It's a lesson. It tells you what to do differently next time. Oh, and effort. This one is huge. The fixed mindset dangerously believes that if you have to try hard, you must not be talented. But the growth mindset knows effort is the key that unlocks talent. And feedback. To a fixed mindset, it feels like a personal attack. To a growth mindset, it's a gift. It's like free coaching. And finally, seeing others succeed, the fixed mindset feels threatened, jealous. The growth mindset gets inspired. They see a roadmap for what's possible.
So this is where you kind of have to turn the lens on yourself. Which one of those sounds more like you? And here's a great little test. Just think about how you handle failure. When you try something and you totally bomb, what's your gut reaction? Is it this crushing disappointment, this feeling of, see, I just don't have what it takes? Or is it more like, okay, that didn't work, what can I learn from this? Your honest answer to that question says a lot about the mindset that's running the show for you right now. Okay, so we've got the theory down. Now let's talk about the real world. Because this isn't just some abstract psychological idea. These beliefs have real, measurable consequences in the most important parts of our lives.
And what better place to start than the world of sports? I mean, it's a place where talent and especially failure are out there for everyone to see. It's like the perfect lab for watching these mindsets play out. Just think about arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan. Most of us just assume he was born a legend. But here's the crazy part. He was actually cut from his high school basketball team. Now, someone with a fixed mindset would hear, you're not good enough, and maybe just give up. But Jordan, he had a growth mindset. That failure wasn't the final word. It was the starting gun. He used that rejection as fuel. He spent endless hours in the gym turning his weaknesses into his greatest strengths and became the icon we know today. See, his real talent wasn't just his athletic skill. It was his mindset. And you can see this breakdown so clearly. The athlete with a fixed mindset is terrified of losing because to them, a loss is proof they just don't have the it factor. so they might avoid tough opponents or risky plays just to protect that image of being a natural. But the growth mindset athlete, they know that winning is built on a mountain of hard work and practice. A loss isn't a failure, it's a diagnostic report. It tells them exactly what they need to work on. They want the hard practices, they want the tough opponents, because that's where the real growth happens.
All right, so let's step off the court and into the office. Your mindset isn't just about sports. It's a huge deal when it comes to your career, how far you go, and how happy you are doing it. When a fixed mindset shows up at work, it can really hold you back. You see people who think they already know everything they need to know. They steer clear of innovation because, what if it fails? They hear feedback and take it really personally, like it's a criticism of who they are. And they might even turn down new responsibilities because it's safer to stick with what they know they can do. But then you've got the growth mindset at work, and it's a whole different ballgame. These are the people who are always learning, always adapting. A new challenge isn't a threat, it's an exciting chance to learn something new. They actively ask for feedback because they see it as essential for their development. And when a new project comes up, they jump at it, seeing it as a chance to prove they can learn and master new things. It's no surprise that these are the people who really drive progress and end up having the most successful and fulfilling careers.
And this doesn't stop at work either. Mindset plays a huge role in our most personal connections, with our partners, our friends, our family. The way we think about relationships can be the difference between one that thrives and one that just falls apart.
This is such a classic fixed mindset idea about love, right? This belief that if a relationship is meant to be, it should just be easy. It shouldn't take any work. But that's a trap. It sets relationships up to fail because the truth is every healthy relationship takes work, communication, and getting through tough times together.
And this shows you exactly how. When a conflict comes up, the fixed mindset sees it as a sign the relationship is broken, that it wasn't meant to be. They might start blaming their partner or just avoid the tough conversations altogether to keep up the fantasy of a perfect relationship. But the growth mindset sees conflict completely differently. They see it as an opportunity, a chance to talk, to understand where their partner is coming from, and to work together to make the relationship even stronger. They get that a great relationship isn't something you just find, it's something you build together, one conversation at a time. Okay, so this all leads to a really important question. Where do we get these mindsets in the first place? Are we just born with them? Well, let's dive into that, because the answer is often found way back in our childhoods.
Our deepest beliefs about ourselves don't just pop up out of nowhere. They're planted, often without anyone even realizing it, when we're very young. The things our parents say to us, the way our teachers give feedback, the stuff society values. It all adds up to create the mindset we end up with as adults. And one of the biggest, most powerful factors, praise.
And this is so critical, because it shows that even praise with the best intentions can backfire. When we tell a kid, "You're so smart," we're actually reinforcing a fixed mindset. We're praising a trait. But when we praise the process, the effort, the strategy, the persistence, we send a totally different message. Saying something like, "Wow, you worked so hard on that," fosters a growth mindset because it connects success to effort, not just some innate gift. And the consequences of only praising talent can be really, really damaging. In her research, Dweck found that kids who were praised for being smart actually started to fear challenges. And why is that? Because they thought, if I try something hard and I fail, then everyone will know I'm not really smart. They started playing it safe, avoiding risks, all to protect that smart label. And the moment things got tough, they gave up more easily. The very praise that was supposed to build them up actually made them more fragile. Now, here is the absolute best part of this whole idea. Your mindset is not set in stone. You can change it. So, let's get into the most empowering part of our explainer, a practical, step-by-step guide to actually cultivating a growth mindset for yourself.
Okay, here are 4 simple steps you can start with. Step 1, become aware. This is just about listening to that voice in your head. You know the one that says, "Don't try that, you'll fail," or "You'll look stupid." That's the fixed mindset voice. Just noticing it is the first huge step. Step 2, reframe your thoughts. You don't have to listen to that voice. You can talk back to it. You can remind yourself, "Hey, this is hard, but I can get better." Or, "Failure isn't the end, it's just part of the process." Step 3, take action. This is where it gets real. You have to prove the new belief to yourself. Go do that thing you've been avoiding because you were scared of failing. Get out of your comfort zone. And finally, step 4, learn from setbacks. When you do stumble, and you will, we all do, don't let that old voice say, "I told you so." Instead, get curious. Ask yourself, okay, what did I learn from that?
What can I try differently next time? This turns every mistake into a launch pad.
And this right here might be the most powerful little life hack you'll ever learn. It's just adding one simple 3-letter word, yet. Think about it. I can't do it feels like a brick wall. It's a final judgment. But I can't do it yet. That changes everything. It opens a door. It implies that it's possible in the future. It turns a period into a comma.
So, as we start to wrap up, it's really important to remember that changing your mindset isn't like flipping a switch. It's not a destination you just arrive at. It's a continuous, lifelong journey of learning and evolving.
And this isn't just some feel-good idea. It's backed by real science. It's a concept called neuroplasticity. We now know for a fact that your brain isn't fixed. It's more like a muscle. It has this incredible ability to change, to form new connections, and to get stronger with effort. So every single time you learn something new, you are literally, physically rewiring your brain for growth.
This is a great way to picture it. Think of your brain as this huge, complicated network of wires. When you practice something, you're making the connections between those wires stronger and faster. The more you work at it, the better that circuit gets. But when you give up or avoid a challenge, those connections can get weaker over time. The amazing thing is, you are the chief engineer of your own brain.
So really, adopting a growth mindset means falling in love with this idea. It means waking up every day believing you can be a little better, a little wiser than you were yesterday. It's about loving the process of getting better, not just obsessing over the final score. It's a total shift from a life spent proving yourself to a life spent improving yourself.
And that brings us to the final and, honestly, the most important question. This isn't about what you've learned just now, it's about what you're going to do with it. So what's one small thing you can do today to start your journey of growth? Maybe it's finally starting that project you've been putting off, or maybe it's just catching yourself in a negative thought and adding the word yet. How will you start?
Hey, if this explainer gave you a new perspective, we'd really appreciate it if you take a second to like it, subscribe for more content like this, and maybe share it with friends or family. Anyone you think could use this powerful message.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. And just remember that simple, powerful truth we've talked about. When you change your mindset, you really, truly can change your life.